We are live tonight at the Nutter Center. I'm Larry Hansgen, host of Miami Valley's Morning News, and we are joined by the man who has brought people out here tonight to the Nutter Center, as he has done on numerous occasions in the last 10 years since he's been visiting the Miami Valley. We're talking about your consumer warrior. He teaches you how to save more, spend less, and avoid getting ripped off. Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Nutter Center and throughout the Miami Valley, let's welcome Clark Howard.
I know there are so many people here because you told them Neil Bortz was going to be here.
You know, Clark, we got a lot of questions from the folks here tonight, and obviously people that are out and about tonight driving around. Some burning issues in these very difficult times, and we're going to get to some of these questions that people have submitted to us, but before we do that, from where you stand and having had a chance to travel around our great country and look at what all we are dealing with as Americans, and not specifically here in the Miami Valley, what do you see as being the #1 pocketbook wallet issue right now?
There's no question. I heard 3 people say gas, gas, gas. Yeah. Gas is not the overriding issue that I have seen around the country. Gas is a symptom of it. And what it's a symptom of is how we have been living as Americans. Now, who is old enough that you can join me in remembering the 1981-82 deep recession, the deepest one we had since the Great Depression? Let me see a show of hands. Okay, now those were much, much, much tougher economic times than we're in now. Massive unemployment. We went through a period of extreme inflation at the end of the Carter administration. And you want to know tough times, those were tough times. Here's the interesting thing that's been a pattern, no matter where I go in the country, and that's this. Even though our unemployment rate has bumped up some, our most recent stated unemployment rate in the country is 5.5%. Now, historically, 5.5% meant things were great, but right now they don't feel so great. We are in a different position today for one reason, and that is for the first time in American history, Americans carry more debt than annual income. Debt is the thing that swept the rug out from under us, and we did it to ourselves. And that's the pattern that I've heard around the country. It like magnifies. It's like an earthquake. You know how as the number steps up on the Richter scale, the damage is greater and greater? It's kind of like we built our financial house without a foundation, and they collapsed on us. So that is, if you ask me, what is the overriding thing? Gas prices are a pain, but the real pain is the one we've done to ourselves with how much money we owe to everybody.
And before we get to some of these specific questions, following up to that, we are in a situation here in the Miami Valley where in Wilmington, which is in Clinton County, not too far from here, they're looking at the prospect of 7,000 jobs going away by DHL changing its air carrier. Here in the greater Dayton area, General Motors is shutting down the Moraine truck assembly plant. 2,500 jobs are going away there. What does that say to people in this negative savings society with the prospect that, you know what, jobs could go away at any given point in time?
Right. Well, in your own life, it means that you have to reorient how you think about money. And we, over time, have become a culture, a society, where you don't have to have money to buy something, you just have to go in and fill out an application. And you leave with whatever it is. That's a change we have to make. But there's also something that's unique to Ohio. Well, not unique to Ohio, I'd say Ohio and Michigan both share. And that is that both states have a long history of taxing people to death. And if you want to...
Are you proud?
If you want to attract industry back, you have to create an environment for tax that people who are entrepreneurs, will be willing to come, knowing they're not going to have their pocket picked as they become more successful. And if you look at the states that are growing great guns, one thing they share is they share no state income tax. And do you know Texas is the fastest growing state in the country and has been off and on for years. And do you know what the state income tax rate is in the state of Texas?
Zero.
It is 0%. And so when I think about the long-term prospects for Ohio and for the neighbor up there, Michigan, the big thing is getting government under control so that people who are interested in capitalism, who want to start their own deal, can have an environment where it's tax-friendly to do so.
All right, Clark, we got a lot of questions.
You're looking at me like I can't believe you're talking politics, Clark.